What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of A Wolf in Geek's Clothing, hosted by yours truly, Wolfson. I know, guys. I know. I would like to bring a mic over as much as possible, but we have certain commitments and we have certain things that we can't just fully commit all the time. But I always do appreciate Mike coming to the show, and I cannot wait for next week to come into the show because we're going to discuss a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh! And Union Arena that's coming out right around the corners, especially the most recent tints that's getting released, that just got released. We'll talk about that in next week more or less and what we're expecting. And of course, the new core set Rage of Abyss as the next week we will be a sneak peek. And of course, the Union Arena TCG, it's coming. It's finally coming over, and we're excited. I already got my bots pre-order, so I cannot wait to start playing Byakuya deck, man. And for everybody who doesn't know, it's a very fun deck. It's a purple deck, but there's more to explore to it. So I'm very excited. So today, every other episode, if I can bring a guest over, that's fine, guys. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, guys. I'm just gonna come over and decide, just like old times, just going on solo again. Do I prefer to have a guest? 100%, but I can't afford to have a 2-week per month podcast episodes. I just can't, and I can't bring it out to you guys, my loyal followers, which I completely appreciate. At the time of recording this episode, we finally reached 1,000 subscribers. Let's go! Oh my God. I just want to say thank you very much for everybody who's been sticking through me with this journey on the podcast. I hope we can prevail even further beyond, going plus ultra. Thank you guys for listening. And guys, always remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell for the notification so you guys don't miss an episode. And like I always say at the end of the podcast, if you have a specific topic that you want me to discuss or you want my guest to discuss, then talk about it. Please let me know in the comments down below. I'm very active. I'm very into it. So tell me what you guys think, what you want me to talk about, and I'll bring it over to the next episode. Because there will be times in which, there's going to be a slow week. And I don't want to do an episode with just like 1 or 2 topics. No, I want to bring a lot of topics, Just like today's episode that we got a few topics. I don't know how long we're going to do this. It's probably like a quick 40-minute podcast episode. Doubt it. But we'll see how it goes. Guys, we'll see how it goes. We got a couple of topics to talk about. So let's get down with the shit. I got it in my phone right here on my notes. So first things that we're going to discuss about as I drool over. Movies and TVs. We got a lot of announcements that went down. So Sonic the Free trailer. I had some thoughts about the Sonic Free trailer. Because don't get me wrong, I am excited. And I'm excited that they announced, they show, Keanu Reeves as Shadow. And as of right now, Keanu Reeves as Shadow looks amazing. And he sounds like that's him. Like that's Shadow right there. Unlike, Garfield, where Chris Pratt talks about it, or Chris Pratt on the Super Mario Brothers movie. Like it grinds my gears, me listening to Chris Pratt as voice acting. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what's your hate with Chris Pratt? Including my cousin, Chris the cameraman. Shout out to him. And Radioactive Titanium, shout out to him as well. I don't hate Chris Pratt because I love Chris Pratt. I've been following Chris Pratt's career since he was in Parks and Recreation. That is one of my favorite TV sitcom shows. Like, I love watching Parks and Rec. And then people really want to watch Parks and Rec and how some of the greatest stars started from there. Like we're talking about other than Chris Pratt, like Rob Lowe. His career didn't start from that show. He was way famous before, but that show put him even more on the map. What's his Aubrey Plaza? She's a fantastic actress and she's hilarious. And I like her personality, which is like the same person in every other movie or TV show that she has appeared. Of course, you can't forget about the other co-stars like Ron Swanson, who is portrayed by Nick Offerman. Amazing. Like Nick Offerman is hilarious. And you guys have probably seen Nick on the series The Last of Us. Like played a fantastic role. And you've seen him in other movies as well. And of course, the main star of the show, Amy Poehler. And with Aziz and and other fictional characters and actors that you've seen that is like, oh my god, I remember that person from Parks and Rec. Yeah, because that show is good. And if you watch it right now, it's like, oh my god, this is almost the same as today's political standpoint and the government and whatnot. This shit goes every day. Yeah, that's the whole point of the show. It's a timeless classic series that you can watch at any time and any age, and you'll be like, oh my god, this is exactly how it's happening right now. How is this even possible? Are they the Simpsons? Did they predict the future? No, it's just like we were just oblivious at the time when they aired the episode. It was just funny. Now it's even funnier. That's like, oh my god, every time I see the episode, it's like, oh my god, this is how the government really works. It's like, it's funny. So I liked his character, Andy Dwyer as Chris Pratt. So I never had a problem with Chris Pratt, and I've seen him on other movies. And luckily, he became a superstar as Star-Lord in the the Guardians of the Galaxy, and of course, as in the Jurassic World movies. I loved him. He acted the part. He did what he had to do, and it was fantastic. I loved him. I just don't like his voice acting. Why? Because I feel like he's just acting it out instead of like giving the energy, the words out of it. I think he's just reading it as it goes, but not just like portraying and acting and then be part of the character as you've seen on many voice actors. Wilson, but you can't compare voice of professional voice actors to Chris Pratt. Like you can't compare Chris Sabat that does the voice of Vegeta, All Might, Jami, and many others to Chris Pratt. I understand that's their profession, and I understand that Chris Pratt is just a superstar. But you cannot tell me that Steve Carell doesn't do a great job as Gru in the Despicable Me series. Like Steve Carell literally goes into that character. Like he becomes part of it, And let's not forget, Mark Hamill is an actor first before he became a voice actor for Joker and other movies. And he gets into it. So like you see the feel of it. Like you can feel the characters like, oh my God, that's definitely, that person's character 100%. Like I can see Mark Hamill as Joker like 100%. Just like in this trailer that I saw, as Keanu Reeves is definitely Shadow. Like you can see it through. And guys, and if let's not go any further. Like Idris Elba as Knuckles is hilarious. I love Idris Elba. And Idris Elba is a fantastic superstar actor. Like Idris Elba is a great actor. I can't deny that. I don't know if he's like at that level of superstar fandom as Chris Pratt is, but he's definitely one of those top G's right there. And him as Knuckles, like, yes, you can hear it. Like, that is a Knuckles. That's Knuckles right there. So when I hear Chris Pratt as Mario and Garfield, it's just like, ooh. It's just like, I just don't see it. And the fact that I don't see it and I don't hear it is just like, it's so conflicting. And it's not to say like, oh, then you're just biased because you love the Mario franchise. It's like, not that too crazy about the Mario franchise, to be honest. Because if I was a superstar of the Mario franchise, I'll be like buying every single game and going on the releases and whatnot. No, I'm not that too crazy, guys. Calm down. Like, if anything, I'm more of in the Nintendo aspect or in the Nintendo world. I'm a huge Pokemon fan more than the Mario franchise. Like, I could care anything that's Nintendo related. I could care less unless it's just Pokemon. That's the only reason why I buy all the Nintendo Switch or the Wii's or the Game Boys or the Nintendo DS's and whatnot. It's so I can play Pokemon. No other game. There's hundreds of other games. I only purchase those consoles just so I can play Pokemon. I kid you not. That's the only reason why I buy those consoles. And I'm going to continue that. Of course, once in a while, I'll buy a different console that I was like, oh, that intrigued me. Let me play around. Like the Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom. That actually got me hooked up with the Zelda game. I was like, whoa, it's been a while since I played a Zelda game. And for me to get hooked up like that, yeah. So that the point I'm trying to get to is it's not just to rant about Chris Pratt, even though I just did. It's more so of Keanu Reeves is definitely Shadow, and you can see it in this trailer. Now, That's the greatest thing about this trailer. It's like, oh my god, like Shadow, and they did took some source materials from the Shadow the Hedgehog video game that was released on the PlayStation 2 and some other concepts from other Sonic games. That's just pretty much. I'm gonna say good things about the trailer because the one bad thing that I hated about the trailer was that they showed too much. They showed too much, and I feel like I saw the movie. And I feel like this could have been like left out and we could have just like get the surprise later on. If you guys don't know what the surprise is, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1. So in the trailer, they did show Dr. Robotnik's return. And of course, Jim Carrey is once again portraying the famous villain, Dr. Robotnik. I just hated that they show him again, even after they say that Jim Carrey is not gonna be in the next movie, or that was like just like quote unquote, or like he's retiring, and people say like, oh, what's gonna happen with Robotnik? And Paramount says like, well, we're not replacing Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is Dr. Robotnik, whether he is in the next film or not. And that's how they left it. And people were just like, okay, so it's gonna be Shadow's gonna be the villain, and we're gonna work some shit out and whatnot. But they show Robotnik, and I'm like, bro, this could have been something that when we're in the movie we find out, and it's like, oh my god, he's there, he's alive, holy shit, he's back, oh, I can't wait. Now it's like, bro, seriously, you ruined the surprise. It's like the Broly movie that they did that. Like this Dragon Ball Super movie Broly. Like I knew Broly was gonna be there, and I knew that there's gonna be Super Saiyan Blues. I didn't realize that there was gonna be a massive fight between Gogeta and Broly. I didn't know that they were actually gonna introduce canon wise the fusion. That could be kept as a secret. But no, they had to air it in the trailer as well. Like it is what it is. So I mean, not gonna discuss much. I'm just gonna wrap it up with this trailer saying like, I'm excited for Sonic 3. It's coming this year, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not, it's next year. I totally forgot what it is. Correct me in the comments down below. When is the new Sonic 3 movie coming? But I am excited. So, and a lot of returning faces, a lot of returning characters. Moving on to more stuff. So last week, it was pretty interesting because last week or the last 2 weeks, Netflix like air out a couple of trailers and announcements for shows and whatnot that they're bringing over to by the end of this year or next year, which is actually pretty cool. They called it the Geek Week Netflix announcements. So I guess it's more about like geek stuff that people are just like geeking about, from Netflix. Most of them, it was a lot of animations, like a lot of anime shows that they're announcing for the first time and be like, yeah, we're bringing this next year, coming soon, release next year. They're bringing stuff like that. It's like, all right, cool. A lot of that. I saw a couple of trailers and I'm just like, whoa, like I'm excited for it. So I don't remember all the dates of these animes or animations that they're releasing, but I just know that it's gonna be next year. And I'm excited for it. But not just animes. They did show like trailers of very, very upcoming sequels and continuations of other famous Netflix shows, which I'm excited for it too. It's like, oh my god, this season is coming, or a sequel to this series is coming. It's like, yes, let's go. So it's a lot. It's a lot to go through, and I'm gonna try to gone for it as much as compressed as much as possible, one by one, and give me my few little thoughts about it. All right. So here's the first one we're gonna start. All right, Sakamoto Days. So I've never read the manga. It's an anime. I never read the manga. I've seen the cover so many times when I read on the Shonen Jump website on Viz. You can check out the free chapters of free series. A chapter. I think they allow you to watch free, like 3 free chapters of a series. Usually, it's the latest ones. And then like as week goes by, the chapter starts getting locked, and you'll have to have like a subscription base or log into their account or something like that. I don't know, but I watch it for free. You just go to the viz.com/Shonen Jump, and you'll see all the current mangas that they're replaying. That's where I watched Kagurabachi. Oh my god, I cannot wait when they release the anime. That manga itself, a storyline, is fantastic, man. And I love how the stakes are high every time, and there's like always a plot twist, and there's always a plan for everything, man. It's like the 18 Kagurabachi, and it's not like, oh, I hope they do a anime. No, I announced it this year in one of my earliest podcast episodes that they announced that they're gonna release an anime adaptation of this series Kagurabachi. So I'm so excited about it. And it just involves, it's basically, modern day in Japan with sorcerers, involves, people with enchanted, and then you got samurais and the yakuza like clashing in with the government, and then you got this one lone wolf, which I love and I can relate. That is like, nah, I need to stop this before this goes any further, and I need to avenge my father. That's the whole premise of it. So that show, I swear, guys, just watch that or read that manga, Kagurabachi. Very, very good. It gets dark sometimes, but it's good. It's very good. I can't stress it out. Like last time I read something like this good was probably Black Clover. And Black Clover, it's in its final arc, so we cannot wait until the anime adaptation of it. So, but yeah, Sakamoto Days. The premise of it is that this guy is a famous hitman. He was known in Japan in the underworld, like he's like a famous hitman. And then he met a woman that's like the woman of his life, and he decided to retire his job as a hitman. He's like, he doesn't want to marry the woman, started a family, has a daughter, and now he works in one of those convenience shops, like one of those 7-Elevens, but in Japan, And he's living his days just chilling like that, with his providing for his family one night. And then all of a sudden, shit hits the fan. And now he has to come out of retirement before they start killing him and his family. So it's like, what is going on? So it's like, all right. So I never read the manga itself. Now I'm intrigued that they're going to put it in Netflix. Now I want to see it in Netflix. I want to see the anime adaptation of it. And all I can say is like, it looks pretty interesting. It looks something different than what we're so used to, So that's pretty cool. They're announcing it's coming on next year. I'm thinking January, something like that. Oh my god, Devil May Cry, the anime. They announced they gave us like a small clip teaser trailer of the announcement for that show, Devil May Cry, on the anime adaptation. The same people who did Castlevania are the ones bringing this series into Netflix. It's definitely not canon. Like, it's not canon to the video games, to the book adaptations, to the manga adaptations. They said the creator, he says like this is its own bootleg universe. Like, it's a separate universe, separate from the video games, which I appreciate that. Like, I love the fact that you're taking a nice story and a great story, like a great franchise, and make your own story out of it, and make something cool out of it. Hopefully it can prevail out of it. Now, I don't have any doubts about it, because the way I'm finally caught up with the Castlevania series, like the first series of Castlevania and Nocturne, which we'll discuss that a little bit later. And I feel like the storyline and the anime and the fighting scenes itself is fantastic. And even the voice acting was on point. I love Castlevania. It's like, man, I want to play this game. But it sucks Konami hasn't released a new version of Castlevania or a remake for people to bring and play it. Wouldn't that be a nice $1 million idea? Just remake Castlevania, just like the first game, and have everybody feel like, oh my god, I just want to play. I want to play the Trevor Belmont or Alucard, and just fight Dracula overall. Wouldn't that be a great video game? The idea of the anime came from the video game. So, Konami, please make a remake. If you're making a remake of Silent Hill, which nobody really asked for, why don't you just make a remake of Castlevania, which I'm pretty sure people will ask for, and people will be happy about it.
Hey, I'm mad at her honesty.
Hey, what do I know? It's Konami, guys, at the end of the day. This is who we are. So back to DMC. So I love the trailer that they show up. I love the cinematic and storyline. They didn't show much of the story, which I appreciate. Like, don't show me too much about it, but they bring like something that perfects. Like, I'm pretty sure they're taking like some of the storyline or some of the sources from the Devil May Cry free franchise, like the Devil May Cry free game, and it's pre version, like the manga versions of it. And anybody who played Devil May Cry free knows that that's like the prequel to all the Devil May Cry series. That's where like, oh, that's when you know Dante's Awakening, where everything all started. Like, well, it didn't start from there, but it's like, oh, this is like the early days of Dante when he became the devil hunter that he is right now, or the demon slayer. And they did two manga adaptations of it, and it's like the pre like before the actual game started. Like, there's these two mangas that is like, oh, this was happening before the manga, and then before the game, and once the game started, it's like, oh, it's a continuation to what the manga was happening. So based of what I've seen in the trailer, it looks like it's coming, the source material coming from the Devil May Cry free era. Young Dante trying to be cocky and be like, I'm whatever and this and that. And some of the villains is like, oh yeah, it has to come from the manga, because anybody who read the manga knows where that rabbit comes from. So it could be. And I like that this is a series that, oh my god, you can go start from being Dante as the teenager all the way to Dante as the adult, Like, this is actually pretty good, the direction that they go for. Is like, yes, start from the beginning. Like, do that. Start from the beginning and then work your way up, because you'll have seasons after seasons of doing this and have the imagination and creativity to go for it. And to put icing in the cake, the English voice actor for Dante is none other than Johnny John Bosch. Let's go! Let's go. I could not be any more happy and to have Johnny John Bosch as the voice of young Dante for this new series. Again, it's a bootleg series, and he's already familiar with the Devil May Cry series, as he voice acts Nero. So it's like, it makes perfect sense. And Ruben, the main voice actor of Dante, giving him the flowers is like, I couldn't be more happier. And to give Johnny John Bosch as the new voice actor, like, yes, he gets it. Like, and I think like a lot of people were afraid, like, who could be the voice actor for Devil May Cry? It could have been anybody, and people would have shit their pants, like, if it's not somebody like that's not Ruben, or somebody new that we're like, who the fuck is it? Like, I don't know. It's like they were having experience, but now that it's Johnny John Bosch, we could be easily like, oh. But there's always some haters in the community that they want to be like, no, this is a worse decision. Like, Ruben is already the voice actor. Why didn't give it to him? Hey guys, listen, look, it's an alternative universe. Like, it's not canon. Who better to give it to someone who's already familiar with to the Devil May Cry franchise, other than Johnny John Bosch, and it makes perfect sense. It's like, oh, so it's gonna voice act to Dante and Nero. We don't know that. We're still in the early stages. Maybe down the line, they decided to call Ruben to reprise his role as Dante, as Dante becomes older as an adult, and then Nero become Johnny will become Nero as Nero's appearance starts to go. It could happen, Remember, this is Dante in his early stages. I don't know if Ruben will do a great job. I'm pretty sure he will nail it as Dante, as a young Dante, but I feel like Johnny will still have that voice as a young person, even though he's old as shit. But I don't have a problem with it, honestly. And guys, remember one more time, alternate universe, non-canon. Like, this is a whole bootleg universe and probably in the same universe as Castlevania. So whatever is happening in this bootleg universe does not transfer to this universe. So when they release Devil May Cry 6, which I know they're gonna release Devil May Cry 6, like, it's gonna be a thing. When they release the new game, Johnny's gonna reprise his role as Nero, as always, and Ruben's gonna be part as Dante. That's his role. That's his role. And so is Dan Southworth as Virgil. That's gonna be the role. So chill out, guys. Like, I don't know why. What's all the bitches? Like, You know what? Like, I would rather have somebody who's familiar with the materials and familiar with the story and the character, and somebody that just like they just give it the job. It's like, all right, now you got to read this, and they don't know anything about the franchise. Like, I'd rather have somebody that's known. Like, and Johnny Young Boss is a great pick. I know I would have preferred Ruben as Dante because that's Dante overall, but guys, it's okay. Ruben can still happen later down the road when Dante it gets older. Because remember, this show picks up when Dante is what? Young teenager punk. He's probably in his late teens, early 20s around there. He's still punk. He's trying to figure out how the world works, how to kill demons and do the devil hunter business. He's still a merc, a bounty hunter. Like, guys, this is your early days. And I would love to see it that his growth throughout this new series. And then on sudden when he becomes a fully fledged adult, it's like, oh, it's Ruben's voice. This is like, there you go. DMC is back. DMC is back. But yeah, guys, I have nothing against it. I'm happy that it's Johnny Young Boss. You know, shout out to him. He got the gig. And I feel safer with him because I know Johnny will do a great job. I mean, come on, guys. He's the voice actor of Lelouch v. Betrania from the Kokia series. He's also like Bash the Stampede for both the Trigun animes, the original one, the early 90s, and the remake. And he did a fantastic job on both of them. And let's not forget, he's Ichigo Kurosaki from the Bleach series, the main character. There's no other better voice actor that's a main character level as good as Johnny John Bosch. Like, I mean, again, Koki is Vash the Stampede on Trigon, and then Bleach was Ichigo Kurosaki. And he does a great job as Nero. Some can argue that in the Devil May Cry 4, Nero, he sounded more like a bitch. Sure, I guess, but it kind of redeemed himself in the fifth installment of the series, and it was like, oh my god, this is the Nero that we always wanted. So he did a fantastic job regardless, and there's plenty of more that he has done. Like, many people do not know that he's actually Sasori of the Red Sand, from the Naruto Shippuden series. Like the Akatsuki, him, the Sasori, the puppeteer guy. Yeah, he's a voice actor, and he's done a lot of work with Naruto on the Naruto series, and also in the Fairy Tail series. People don't realize that as well, and some other well-known popular anime shows. I mean, Demon Slayer. Guess who voice acted Giyu? Giyu Tomioka, the Water Hashira, Johnny Young Bosch. So I'm happy. It's coming on April. And April 2025. I cannot wait. I'm gonna binge watch it and gonna give a review out of it. It's like, ooh, let's go. Well, that's a lot of talk about DMC. It's one of my favorite franchises. So yeah, I'm gonna be so happy and giddy about it. But like, continuation of that universe, that bootleg universe from the creator. And earlier I mentioned about Castlevania. They did announce and give a small teaser trailer of the second season of Castlevania Nocturne. Now, anybody who hasn't not watched the Castlevania series in Netflix, I highly recommend you watch it. At first, I was kind of hesitant. My cousins watched it and they said that they loved it. And I was like, okay, I'll put it on my list. And then when I saw that there's a second season of one of the other series, it's like, oh, okay, then let me watch it. So I watched the entire season of the first Castlevania. I gotta tell you, it was fantastic. Great show, great story, great plot twists, great action. Like the animation for all the fight scenes and whatnot. Oh, great. They ended with 3 seasons on that one particular, like Castlevania season 1, 2, and 3. I believe that's how they ended, with 3 seasons. I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me in the comments down below. That's fine. And I was like, oh, damn, that sucks. Well, you know what? I'm happy that it ended short and be like, all right, it's fantastic. They drag it on for 8 seasons, and be like, oh, it lost its will like halfway through there. And then they created a new series called Castlevania Nocturne, which is a continuation of the original series of Castlevania, but it's more set out far into the future, like hundreds of years into the future, probably like a century or so or more. And it's now based off the descendants of from the original characters. And they announced that there was gonna. I feel like in the season 1 they left it with a cliffhanger. the season one left with a cliffhanger that I'm like, oh my god, the world's done. Like this is it. We're screwed. And then at the last second, we saw one of the recurring characters from the first season, which is Alucard, known to be as Dracula's son. Like Alucard is half human and half vampire, but he has his daddy's blood a lot more on that aspect. Spoiler alert, guys. Sorry. And he returns at the final season, and you're like, "Holy shit, this is sick!" And then now you can see him the season 2 on the trailer. I was like, "Okay, so now a final battle is about to pop off." And I guess like people are gonna return to their like. There's gonna be a lot of character development on each person and how they got to where they got to or what they had to face for. And yeah, and I guess they're gonna fight like the main villain of this second season. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Nocturne. Let's see how it goes. I don't think it's gonna end on this second season. They're probably gonna do one more season as well to finish off that series. And if anything, they'll continue on with the Castlevania to the probably most modern time. Who knows? We'll see. They're probably doing the Assassin's Creed route. But in this one they say January. It's in January 2025. It's gonna be released, so I'm excited for it. Splinter Cell anime. I was like, what? Tom Clancy is coming back again with a new anime adaptation on Netflix with Splinter Cell. Now, I know about Splinter Cell. I played probably one game. I didn't play much about it, and then I just like forgot about it, but I'm aware of the series and I'm aware what it is. It's based. I remember at the time it was kind of like the competition of Metal Gear Solid, because Metal Gear Solid is known as a tactical espionage action, which is Solid Snake or Snake in general, infiltrating to enemy bases, enemy territories, and trying to destroy the Metal Gear. That's the whole premise of Metal Gear Solid or the Metal Gear series, is you're trying to infiltrate enemy space, whether you go guns blazing or you just simply go infiltration and just sneak in and whatnot. I feel like that is like the counterpart or of Splinter Cell. Obviously two different scenarios, but the focus of is espionage all around. That's what it is, and that's what Splinter Cell, Sam Fisher, the character of the series, is all about. Is espionage. So when I saw the trailer and saw that there's gonna be an anime adaptation, I was like, "Oh, cool! I guess, yeah, I'm okay. I'm all about it." It's like, you know what? I ain't mad about it. I'm not mad. That's amazing. I'll watch this. I'll watch the anime adaptation of it. So yeah, sure. Give me all about it. And I also watched the new Tomb Raider on Netflix. So last week, me and Mike were talking about like there's gonna be like two different Tomb Raiders that's coming on next year. They says there's one that's gonna be a live action from Amazon Prime, which is like, okay, I hope they do a good job instead of the one that we got in the theaters. And then there's gonna be a Netflix anime adaptation of it. I guess the one that there was a trailer. That's the one. So it's like, okay, cool. I saw some of it. I'm all about Tomb Raider. Sure, I'll watch the series. It looks pretty good. It doesn't tell me much, and I like that they keep that suspense, like that secret. Like, but obviously, anybody who's played Tomb Raider knows about Tomb Raider, knows what's pretty much what's gonna happen, and know what it is. It's just Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, gotta be exploring some temples, gotta be fighting some bad guys, and then they get closer to the tomb. All of a sudden, traps activated, and then all of a sudden you got some mythical supernatural monsters coming out to life and be like, try to fuck you up. It's like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, but that's like basically there's not much to it other than just that. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Tomb Raider. In terms of anime, I feel like that's like mostly all the good anime adaptations or anime shows that they're bringing over next year, which I'm excited for it. I know I'm pretty sure I saw a few that I'm like, I don't know if people really care about this too much. But as far as anime adaptations Netflix, these are the ones that are announced. Now into the live action ones, the sequel to let me see, where is it? I'm reading about it. Squid Game 2, second season. They announced a trailer. There's finally a trailer. It's not a teaser trailer, it's an actual trailer. And it's coming December. Yes, this year. It was like, oh wow, good. They're finally releasing. So some of the characters are coming back. And I mean some of the characters. I mean like the one person who survived and the boss bad guy that was there. They're gonna come back, obviously, because and then it seems like the Squid Games is gonna be different scenario this time. It's not gonna be the same Squid Games as it was first. It would seem that there's gonna be new games. I get at least like other different Squid Games. So this is gonna be interesting how it's gonna be played out. And the main character is like, oh shit, I'm back. I'm back here to play the games now. Fuck. That's how it trailer ends. So it's like, oh no, you screw. Why you came back? You should. And if I was that person, I was like, I'll be traumatized. I'll be traumatized with my millions of dollars. Like, oh, the agony. Dollars, it's slap on my face. Like,
Pause.
No, did he?
I got the millions. I would have just like, yo, go to your daughter, have a wonderful life, and just forget about this. Don't come back with this shit. But like, why? Like, you didn't have to be the hero and all this. But we're back again, so we'll see how it goes. They did mention that they're gonna end. There's gonna be like this season 2 is gonna be 2 parts, and that's where it's gonna end. So they're ending season 2, but since it's split into 2 parts, that means it's season 3. It's gonna be the end of it. Like that's how it's gonna end. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. It was pretty good. Avatar season 2. I haven't watched Avatar, The Last Airbender. So they announced second season. So it's like, oh, okay. So I guess it has to be that good. So I have to watch it now. Now I have to watch it because, I was just never into the Avatar series to begin with. So that's why I don't care too much. I did watch the One Piece. It was so cringe the whole time, but that's exactly what I was expecting of it. But they announced, John Magliana. I think that's the name of it.
Oh, what the did she say?
Very famous actor. He played in Magic Mike and other games and the movies. Joe Magliana.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I can't even pronounce that shit. Well, he's announced that he's gonna be Croc. So I'm excited. Like he's gonna be Crocodile in the Pirates. So it's like, okay, I can see him play that role. It's like good. That's good enough for me. Yeah. But they give it up that who's playing who on the next season of One Piece. And it's coming soon. It's like, all right, cool, whatever. I don't care. Black Mirror 7th season. Season 7 coming next year. Ooh. The last season was pretty good. And I was just like, oh, what the fuck? They did announce that there's going to be a lot of recurring actors from the previous season for season 6 and from other seasons. They're going to come back to this new season. So it's like, okay, cool. So I wonder what the stories is gonna about. But holy shit, it's awesome, man. I cannot wait. That's a scary series. One you have to be like, whoa. And I think that's where we can end with the Netflix announcements. It was just a lot of announcements from Netflix. Again, it was I'm trying to comprise one of the best stuff that happened in the past week or two, and keep it into like condensed versions as much as possible, But I am excited for all these announcements. If anything, guys, let me know what other announcements you saw from the Netflix Geek Week and that I missed. Let me know in the comments down below. And also tell me your thoughts about all these announcements and what you think about these series that are coming, Just let me know in the comments down below. Moving on to some of the other stuff that I saw. Trailer, Batman Ninja versus Yakuza. I saw the trailer. I was like, what the heck? It was like, this is Batman Ninja 2. But again, anything that's like Batman, I'm gonna watch it regardless, just because it's Batman. I can't say much to it other than like, all right, so we're taking the whole anime concept like to the next level. So this is gonna be interesting. Now, a couple of series that I watched this week, that got released. Agatha All Along on Disney Plus. The Penguin on HBO Max, and the Tulsa King or King Tulsa or Tulsa King, I believe that's Sylvester Stallone's series. I watched those three series because it got air last week. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. So let me give my reviews out of it. So with Agatha all along, two episodes came out so far. And I feel like this series is like one of those like we should have never. I'm sorry to say to all you people who love witches and love Scarlet Witch and love this and that, like sorry to say, guys, but Disney Plus and Marvel Studios, they get the bun for this.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Not to say that the actress who plays Agatha, I love her. And I've seen her in so many comedy movies, and she plays the part. And you know what? She is Agatha. Like, you can't take that away. I just felt like the series itself, like based on the two episodes, was like, this is more of a they try to do the intimidation route of being a scary one, but it's not scary. It's not Werewolf by Night. That one was like, holy shit. This one was more just like, is this gonna affect the MCU in any shape or form? Maybe I'm too early about it, but it's just like, eh. And it's trying to portray that, you know, Agatha lost his power as she is a villain, and everybody tells her that you are a villain. Nobody trusts you and whatnot. And now she's trying to get her powers back. And it's like, why are we helping this evil person back again? So I don't know how I feel about these two episodes. It's way too early, but I feel like we never asked for this. We don't need it. Like nothing out of it screams me, oh my god, this is amazing. Because otherwise, I would have hyped it up for you guys. It's story wise, it's just mediocre as best. I'm trying to understand what they're going for, and again, I don't know. I don't know how is this gonna affect the MCU. Is this gonna be like a story that's gonna be like tied into the Avengers or something like that? I don't know. We're still in the two episodes. I'm gonna finish it up and give my final review at the end of this episode. But to be honest, it ain't it. Sorry, guys. So far, I give it 4 out of 10. That's the best I can give you guys. And I'm not trying to be hating. I'm not trying to be a hater about it. It's just like it does not affect the MCU in any way, other than the confirmation. Spoiler alert: 3, 2, 1. Spoiler alert. Other than the confirmation that Wanda Maximoff is dead, there's really nothing that I can say like oh yeah, this affected this. Like nothing. I just don't like. Again, a lot of great actresses playing their roles. You know, Aubrey Plaza is there, so I'm happy about it. She get the role, but funny moments here and there, sure, but it's just like meh. Nothing in there is meh. I can see like this is more for a lot of people who are into witches, and you know they like to see something folksy and like hocus pocus type, or women in particular that like this type of stuff. You know, like I get it. It looks like it's more tailored to that, which I appreciate the nicheness. It's like, it's only for people that are like into it. But the way Marvel is, they usually tailor for everybody. It's supposed to be casual, not this level of need. And it's just, that's how it feels. And I'm just like, about it. So Agatha, I'm sorry, 4 out of 10, 4 out of 10 so far. So far, I need to watch all the episodes to give my final reviews, but so far it's now no bueno. But something good came out of this because they announced the trailer for the Thunderbolts movie. I thought it was going to be a series, but the Thunderbolts movie, which people who don't know what it's about, it's basically Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. So that's what it is. We got the Avengers, and then we got the Thunderbolts, which is the Suicide Squad, which is kind of crazy because I would assume that Bucky was an Avenger since he was a decorated Avenger, I guess, or in a way. But I guess because he was in people known him as the Winter Soldier, so people would be like, yeah, like he's one of those roles. So it's like I don't know, but based on the trailer, it looks good so far. It's coming out next year. I'm excited for it. I'm really am. It looks pretty clean, and the fighting scenes and whatnot. I am curious as to what the story is gonna be about, and I appreciate that the trailer itself did not tell me what the story is about. It just shows me like this is happening, and then we're all going together and whatnot. It's like okay, good. So it's all over the place. I don't know what's happening. So let's keep it like that. I am do worry when it's released. I hope it doesn't conflict with the Captain America movie because I don't. They should have at least a huge space between each other, a time frame about it. We'll see. It comes out next year, so I'm excited for it. The trailer's good. Can't complain. Moving on to the other series, the Penguin from Matt Reeves' Batman universe in the HBO Max. This one again, I feel the same way with like the Agatha series. Nobody asked to have the Penguin series. Nobody asked this. There's a lot of storytelling. When it comes to stories like these, I don't want to see storytelling. I get that you just want a character development of this certain character, but rather you show me fight scenes than storytelling. There is one or two, but it's just like I don't get it. Nobody asked for the Penguin. Needless to say, it's actually pretty good. First episode, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It convinced me enough to say, all right, I'm gonna watch this. I guess I would have given an 8 if it wasn't like then it's an hour to watch this first episode. And it's like, fuck, is this gonna be like in the other episodes? Like, is this gonna be like the time through of a Game of Thrones type episode? Like, it's gonna be this long to watch the Penguin rise is to be one of the art like Gotham's top G villains. It's like, but I like that there's plots and twists in it. I like that there's like, oh, things are moving a certain way. And when something's happening here, there's another thing happening here at the same time. And it's like, oh shit, this is connecting. Now, would I see Robert Pattinson's Batman in all this? Hopefully by the end of the season, we will. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Right now, I'm not too convinced. Again, the reason I don't give it a higher up is because like nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for a Penguin story. Yet we have one. So that's why my grits is at. But so far, I understand that they're trying to develop a character development. Maybe it's because it's the only way to convince Colin Farrell to stay. I don't care. But I have to give that as a 7 out of 10. I'll be nice to it. 7.5 out of 10. Worth watching. Worth watching the episode. It may drag a little bit, but it then gets picked up a little bit more, and it's just like, all right, cool. Now I see. And then once it picks up, then you're like, oh shoot, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? Okay, so how is this gonna happen? How is this gonna work? Da, 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 da. So we'll see how the season goes, and we'll give a final review out of it. But it's a good. I rather convince people to watch the Penguin way first before I tell them like watch Agatha. Yeah, 100%. And then lastly, Tulsa King from the Sylvester Stallone series, the Paramount Plus. I love it. First episode is like, holy shit, 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 or 9, what somewhere around there. Great series. Great way to introduce the second season of the Tulsa King or Tulsa from the Sylvester Stallone series, and great characters all around. I like how the premise of the series of the second season is going to start off doing something new. Now that we established this, now that we know, people are going to want to try to take us down. Now we're going to do other stuff, to prevail and continue to maintain that level, So I'm excited for the next season, for this season. Like so far, it looks good. I think the second episode or third episode is out. I don't remember much, but I'm excited for it. Other than that, I can't talk much about the series itself. If you've never watched it, I highly recommend that you watch it. It's very good. Sylvester Stallone does a badass job to be as a big mob boss, and every other character. There's not one character that I hate or is like, oh my god, it's like they could have given another character. Like every character or actor that portrays those characters did a fantastic job. They did like okay, good. Like everybody has their roles and everybody knows how good their roles are, and we're keeping it at that. Cool. Now, in terms of Paramount, I don't know anything new coming other than probably Yellowstone. The final season of Yellowstone coming at November 10th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's around there. Final season. Anybody who hasn't watched Yellowstone, I highly recommend you guys watching it. A fantastic series, in terms of Paramount, those two series are great. Probably Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner in it. Jeremy Renner. I haven't watched the series. I'm planning to watch it. But I heard a lot of good things out of it. No Knuckles second season. Happy about that. Any other updates that I know, I'll let you guys know in terms of movies and TV shows and whatnot. So, Tulsa, 8 or 9 out of 10. Great season so far. I'm looking forward for the following seasons. That's it pretty much. I guess like the last updates that I want to give is about. Hold on. I guess like this is news, Yu-Gi-Oh news. So I'm gonna talk about this very quickly before we wrap this up. Yes, Kingdom Hearts 4. An update of Kingdom Hearts 4. So here are the details and rumors that are being mentioned. It's been going all around. This came from Culture Grave. Shout out to them. They came out this story. I don't know from what reliable source, but they are a very reliable source. Oh, so they say that this came from an interview regarding an update with the Kingdom Hearts 4 game. So they say that they say some of the key points of this game on Kingdom Hearts 4, they say story is considered a reset of the series. So they might actually do the God of War treatment. Like they'll give like a soft reboot or a soft reset or soft reboot of the series. Like we know it's a continuation from the older game God of War games, but God of War for the PlayStation 4 and then God of War Ragnarok is still like a continuation of it, but it's just like a new series altogether and it's had its own thing. So that's interesting that they're gonna do like a soft reboot of the series. Or at least they're saying they're considering it, which to me, I feel like maybe that's exactly what they need. If they want to continue with the Kingdom Hearts series franchise and add more Disney elements into it, I feel like we need to retire the Sora story altogether and bring new characters, just so that way, we got a fresh perspective. And also the animation and the I don't think they should change the mechanics, but the animation of it, like instead of being like how Kingdom Hearts 3 felt about, like it felt like this game was building for PlayStation 2 and it just got released on PlayStation 4. Give a little bit more animation, the movements out of it, instead of just being still all the time. They say will be easy for newcomers to jump in. Okay, so the mechanics are mostly gonna be the same. It's just button mash, basically. Which I don't have a problem. I love that style. If I'm gonna play an RPG like that, it'd be like that Final Fantasy VII instead of like the turn 1 base. I hate those. I'd rather play turn 1 base Pokemon games, not those RPGs. But to each their own, The series will eventually conclude. This game is headed towards that. All right, so this confirms me that there will be a Kingdom Hearts 5 for sure. That means that they're gonna finish. I think this is what it is. They want to finish the Sora story altogether and be Sora living happily ever after with Kairi and Riku and on their own island and whatnot, and never to be left father and whatnot. And they'll continue on with a new characters, a new set of players. Like they kind of did that with Kingdom Hearts 2, that concept of having Roxas, but it was grabbed as like, no, well, Roxas is Sora's nobody. Some sort of deal. So it's like, damn, but whatever. And the game is headed towards that. So that's good. That means that by the end of this game, they will conclude Sora's story and they'll probably like be a Kingdom Hearts 5 with new characters and see how it goes. Sora's famous line from the first game is any of this for real or not will be resolved. Oh my God. I forgot about that. Bro, they better not do this shit. They better not do was this ever real or not? Was this always a dream type of stuff? Like, yo, I would be pissed if they did this. Oh my God. And then lastly, creator Tetsuya Nomura sometimes watches YouTube videos to remember all plot points and details. Good. I'm glad that he acknowledged this. That he left a couple of plot twists and whatnot. Good. That means, guys, keep doing more of these YouTube videos. Please let him know about all the plot points So he probably is gonna fix. He's gonna address all those plot points that were left unheard of, untouched from the previous games of how does this work, how does this work. And then last time I checked on the last Kingdom Hearts free game with the DLC and everything, it ends with all the original creators from the mobile game all joining together with this like one of the members of Organization 13. I keep forgetting his name with the black bots, and everybody's like, "What's in the bots? Like, what's in the bots?" And now we're gonna reveal it. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a premise of it. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna address that. And it's like, why is this bot so significant, and why has been a scene in every Kingdom Hearts game is like you see an organization dragging that bots. Like, why is it so important that bot? So I hope that they address that, and I hope they address other plot holes that they left untouched. You know, the fact that he acknowledges, like I've seen YouTube videos about it, say like I'm gonna address some of these. This is a good step in a good direction. I'm glad that the series is coming to an end because we don't want to leave the legacy of Kingdom Hearts to be left with Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, no, we want to leave the series with a great note, with a good note at least. So they say that their series is heading to its conclusion. We don't know if it means that it's going to be that Kingdom Hearts is going to be the final game of the franchise. It's just saying it's heading to its conclusion. So I assume there's going to be a Kingdom Hearts 5 where they're going to end it all. And I'm pretty sure the last game is going to be like with the new characters. And Sora will probably pitch in at the end to help save the universe and multiverse and whatnot. I don't know. That's my guessing. But I'm glad that they're addressing it, and I'm glad that it's going to that path. I just want to mention that. And lastly, let's see what time. Okay, we got this very quick. Very quick. So two things announced as I was at the time I was recording this episode. One thing that got announced in the OCG for Yu-Gi-Oh. So now we're straight to the last topic, Yu-Gi-Oh. And before we go there, guys, let me know what comments down below. What you guys think about the Kingdom Hearts series? Should you think it should end there already? You think that the 4 should be the last and that's it, or they should make this 4 and make 1 month to redeem themselves or whatnot? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about it and what you guys think about the series that I mentioned previously. Now, lastly, we're going to end up with TCG Talk, just like a 5-minute TCG Talk. At the time of recording this episode, they announced that there's going to be a new support for old cards for Orcus, Punk, and Dragon Maid. And they're all going to be arrived at this quarter-century Trinity bots. It's going to be released on December 21st in the OCG, Japan, basically. This is great news because that means there's going to be new support for these existing archetypes that we have. And I'm glad that there's going to be a new support for Dragon Mains because I know a lot. That means Dragon Link can go burr and can go even further beyond. So I know that's going to be a lot of happiness for a lot of Dragon players and a lot of people who are into that waifu crap. Orcus is the first Yu-Gi-Oh deck that I played when I came back to play back in 2019 to 2020. It's literally the first deck that I started to play during that TOS format, or I like to call the Eternal format. And I'm so excited that there's going to be new support. Now, do I believe whatever support comes? I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Do I believe that this new support for Orcus will push their envelope a little bit further? Who knows? I feel it's too early to say. But if I had to guess, I don't think it's going to push them that far unless they release with a broken ass card. We have to address something that many people don't realize, but Orcus has one tuner monster and there hasn't been revealed one synchro monster in the entire Orcus line. We might expect an Orcus synchro monster. That could be the next Omni Negate. That'll be freaking dope. So you got a protection from Dingirsu, and then you got a non-negate for them. Maybe it's not enough. Maybe it's not enough and you need a little bit more. But I can tell you what, might be not generic. I hope they don't so they don't ban it. But it might be like, yeah, now we can use the Bombard card, because it's a level 1 tuner. And it's like, why do we have a tuner if there's no synchro? We only have Link and the Etsees. And maybe we may have a new Etsees too, and be a new Link as well. And we may actually have more main cards to support in order to accelerate them a little bit further. We'll see how it goes. But that brings me a lot of joy that my first deck that I started playing back in this in Yu-Gi-Oh! is going to have some new support. We'll see how it goes. Right now, the market is gonna go nuts because people are just gonna start buying all the Orcus cards, like in the highest value and whatnot. It's gonna go nuts, 100%. But my favorite deck, Punk, one that I'm very, very great at. I'm like, you can ask Mike Phoenix Hero how great of a Punk player I am, and I infuse that with Kashira on the side, and I show people it's like, oh, how degenerate this deck really is. Even against meta deck, it's like, whoa, this is nuts. But it kind of died down when they banned Barone, because that removes some of the unnegates, and now it's just like very easy to be defeated. But that doesn't matter because now Punk is back. They're gonna have a new support. Luckily, whatever support that we're getting, we don't have to rely on the gold pride. I honestly never liked the gold pride archetype to be matched with the Punk. I'd rather have Punk as its own thing, and just a small special engine like Kashira. I don't like that I have to mix gold pride because that means you're adding too much resources to make a little to no effort on a board that's like semi-optimal. Like I want Punk to go like Punk can go nuts and can go like this broken. I'm excited. I hope that the new support that comes out is gonna be insane. So we're gonna discuss this with Mike and see his thoughts about it. Or Mike can just like comment down below. Let me know what you think. And lastly, before we wrap this up, the time of the recording episode, they announced the new core set, Rage of the Abyss. So normally when Yu-Gi-Oh! And Konami announce the new core set that's coming in a few weeks, they typically and regularly announce on a small trailer. A small trailer talking with these two old Yu-Gi-Oh! Guys who are now the faces of Yu-Gi-Oh! And well, nobody picked them, but it is what it is. Talking about the new archetypes, the free agents, and sometimes we get a little sneak peek of what the new name is and what the rarity is. Sometimes we get in those trailers. It's like a 5-6 minute trailer, it's very exciting about it. And then they'll let us know throughout the week, hey, you're gonna have some of your favorite Yu-Gi tubers, talking about this. It's like, all right, cool. We're down to it. But this one was very different, because it became from a 5-minute trailer to a 1 hour. Konami gets the bottom for that.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And then we, the consumers of Konami, we get the bottom.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
We got trolled so hard to think like, oh, this is gonna be something new. Nope. It is the most boring ass shit stream I've ever seen in my life. Announcing new cards and whatnot, I could not bro, Konami, you're trolling. Because it's the most boring thing ever. Everything that they were talking about, it just felt like, yeah, that's good. I'm gonna
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
yeah, where's some of the excitement? And I get that some of them was because what was it? I get that Konami's trying to do that because they do these announcements on the OCG. They did these announcements. They do these announcements on the new card and whatnot for core sets on the OCG. And I get that they're trying to do this for the TCG, but it just came out so bad. To me, it was a big waste of time. Boring as hell. And I'd just rather watch them on a trailer instead of like the 1 hour of those two speaking, which I'm pretty sure not many people are too fond of those guys because they're just like the worst representation for Yu-Gi-Oh! And they don't I don't know. Something about them is just like about it, Like I will pick other players or I'll pick other Yu-Gi tubers to put their face of Yu-Gi-Oh! And talk about the core set rather than those guys. Like at that point, I would just give Tom Bots and Niche from MS.TV to be the ones announcing. If they announce it, I'll be like, oh, and the way they announce it and the way they be creative about it, bam. Then I'll be like, all right, okay, cool. But the way they did it, it's just like, nah, fam, nah. I like how Mike Phoenix Hero tends to be saying like, bro, this is so tone deaf, and I agree with that. But I don't want to go into it. I just want to let you know about it because we're gonna get into it next week with Mike Phoenix Hero. It just got released. I just feel like it was a dumpster fire, boring as shit. Not many people were very reciprocal about it, although people were a bit happy that some cards that got revealed, knowing what the rarity is like, oh, good. So it's gonna be affordable to get this card, or it's gonna be, oh, okay, if I want to play this, it's gonna be pricey. is what it is. But that's my final thoughts. That's my episode, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about it. If you guys got a specific topic you got me to cover, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to talk about next episode, and I'm gonna do my best to bring guests over so we can have more of these type of discussions. Thank you guys for tuning in, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell for the notification at youtube.com/wolfgeekpod. That's Wolf with a V Geek Pod, or you can also check out wolfgeekpod.com. You can check all my latest episodes. You can also check the audio versions at SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts for at Wolves and Music, Lone Wolf Podcast, and A Wolf in Geeks Clothing. So, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one. All right? Peace.